So you still want to be in bed?
I want to be in bed. I don't want to be sitting on the sofa.
Oh, this is an interesting question.
I think I can say what I actually want to say.
What do you want to say? Is it rude?
Of course it's rude.
A little different than all the rest.
Welcome to July's Sofa Chat. We've got some good questions, I believe, lined up. We are on a time limit today. Mark set his alarm because he's got to go off to work. So let's dive straight in. I think there's a lot for you again.
Oh, is there?
Lots of intrigue about you, or Maple, actually. So
Right, okay.
I'll just sit here quietly.
International Man of Mystery.
Well, actually, the first one's about me. You are a lovely lady. I love your hairstyle. Is your hair naturally curly? The very quick answer to that is yes. It's completely 100% natural in colour and curl. This is for you.
Okay.
What does Mark do? He leaves for work. You're leaving for work today.
I'm leaving for work, yes.
Is he a chef, cook?
No, I'm not a chef. I have a business that cleans domestic ovens. So I whiz around the county in Norfolk cleaning people's mucky ovens and Argos.
But you were a chef.
I was a chef, yes.
And you have been a picture framer.
I have been a picture framer.
And you have owned an art gallery.
I have owned an art gallery.
And now you're cleaning ovens.
Yeah.
But you're setting up a franchise business.
I am, yes. The oven cleaning will be a franchise business.
There we go.
Yeah, that's it.
I think you might need to speak up a bit. I know you're quiet, but we're having to use a really old microphone because the professional microphones have gone back to be fixed. So if you can just speak up. Here we go about Maple. So Faith said, when you introduced Maple, you mentioned she is a rescue dog. Can you tell us her story and how she came to be part of your family? And then there's also someone else that says, I too would like to hear more about Maple, your dear dog. From one dog lover to another, love her positive rescue. Sorry, it's really early in the morning, isn't it? And I just haven't even had my first cup of tea yet. From one dog lover to another, love to hear positive rescue stories about dogs. Okay. So yes, Maple is a rescue dog. We knew that we wanted a dog when we moved to Star Corner. You've had dogs previously.
We promised the kids, didn't we, as well, when we had a bigger garden.
Yes.
So we'd actually get a dog of some description. It was always going to be a rescue. It was just from where from.
And you actually found her on Facebook.
I did find her on Facebook.
And we
yes.
did all the checks to make sure that it was a legitimate
charity. Which it was. And
we saw a picture of her and we just loved the look of her, didn't we?
Oh, she was so cute.
But you'd arranged to get her, but you just hadn't realised how far away she was.
No, she was in Macclesfield, wasn't she? Which is up north, isn't it, really?
So it's it was hours, wasn't it? About an 8-hour round trip or something.
Yeah, it was a good trip, yeah, it was.
And then she was sick in the car.
Yes, because she didn't like travelling in cars, as we discovered. Yeah.
So Maple's story before she came to us was that she was rescued as a puppy. She was only a few weeks old when they found her at the side of the road. She got a broken leg and she was rescued, and then she was living with a foster family here in the UK until she was old enough to be adopted.
Yes, so we adopted her.
So we're the only ones who have had her, and because she was a puppy, she's not problematic. She's not problematic. The only thing that gives us a bit of an indication about her past is that she doesn't like people in fluorescent jackets. Well, when I say she doesn't like, she barks at fluorescent jackets.
She doesn't like horses.
Horses she barks at.
And she's very nervous,
and
isn't
she's not so nervous now,
no.
but if I pick up the Hoover, she runs.
Yeah.
If I just pick up anything, she runs. If anything changes in the house, she doesn't particularly like it.
She doesn't like any change or anything moving around.
She doesn't like things moving around. And but now we actually have a game in the garden that she will just come and she'll start moving around. And if I pick up a watering can or a bucket and just do that towards her, she'll just
She loves
run
it,
around the
doesn't she?
garden. So she's now using the fear of things to her advantage, I think.
And she won't play ball though, will she?
No, she
She
doesn't
won't.
play.
She won't fetch or she doesn't want to play catch or run around after anything at all. We've tried all sorts, haven't we? But she just
Yeah.
won't do it. So
She's quite a chilled, lazy dog. If it's raining outside, I can wave the lead above her bed and say, "Come on, walk, walk." And she doesn't have a walk every day because sometimes she just doesn't want one, does she?
No.
So
But she does exert a lot of energy very quickly, a bit like a greyhound. She'll have a 20-minute burst of energy and then that's it.
yeah.
She won't do anything else, will
No.
she? Really lazy.
Yeah, so she's most of the day she's just lying around, basking in the sun. If it's dry outside and slightly warm, she wants to be outside. She'll spend all day outside, won't she? If
Yeah,
it's
she
warm.
won't come in, will she?
just won't come in until later on at night. So that's
Maple.
Maple's story. What's the next one? I know Imogen is a film student at university. Does Rowan have any plans yet after school? Actually, Imi is still at college, so she's under she is 18,
She's 18
now.
yeah.
So she goes to a local college to do film studies. You have to stay in education in the UK until you are 18.
And
Rowan-
she's doing that in place of A-levels, isn't she?
Yes, so rather than A-levels, Imogen's doing a BTEC level 3, I think it is, in film studies, cinematography and filmography, and she's loving that. Rowan has just done her GCSEs. We're waiting for the results, and she has no idea what she wants to do. She's got to go on to further education. I think she'll go to college rather than going back to school, but although she's been accepted on a course, I don't think it's the right
She's not
course. So we're
100%
still
sure,
working
no.
through that one with her. So I'm sure as soon as we know, you'll know too. You look as though you still want to be in bed.
I want to be in bed. I don't want to be sitting on the sofa.
Or going out to
Or
work.
going out to work.
Did you
today.
overdo it at the weekend?
Yeah, I'm a bit knackered.
Oh, this is an interesting question. You can go first on this one.
Mm.
What do you admire most about each other?
I don't think I can say what I actually want to say.
What do you want to say? Is it rude?
Of course it's rude. Your tenacity and your straight talkingness. I love that. I love the fact that you say it as it is. It's not complicated. And we generally know where we stand with each other.
True, I am
Yeah.
very straight talking
Yeah.
in life in general. I can't bear.
I find it so much easier when people are just honest and don't bugger about and beat around the bush, as it were.
I think I might scare people sometimes because I am
Very
very
direct.
very direct and brutally honest. So it can get me into trouble if people don't know me. And I think, like I said, I think it could be a bit scary. But yes, there's no making excuses or messing around with the answer. I just have to tell the truth. So, and we are like that with each other. What
Yeah.
about the tenacity? What was that?
Well, the whole, even with YouTube, it's just you've started from scratch, and it's just a case of I'm going to do it. I want to keep doing it, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability and exceed, and that's what you do.
Oh, thank you. What's the question?
What do you admire about each other?
Oh, it's probably tenacity for you as well. I mean, there's so much that I admire about you that it's difficult to pick one thing. I think just your ability to learn things, and what you've done with the renovation is just amazing. I think it's bad enough actually renovating an existing building, but then to go on and build that massive extension pretty much on your own, and how you, although it does drive me insane, I have to say, it drives me insane how your brain never switches off. In the evening, I'll say, "What are you doing?" and that you're researching the next thing, and you're always looking how to do something. But your ability to pick things up and just do it is incredible.
I think it is. I amaze myself sometimes.
And then also, I also admire how easy you are with people as well. How good you are at just chatting to anyone and everyone. So I admire that about you as well. It's really funny on YouTube. You've got a bit of a reputation for being quiet and not chatty. I'm not sure where they get. Maybe I think it's your aversion to the camera.
I have to rein it in because they'd be sick to death of me if I actually was talking like I talk.
Talk all the time.
I know.
And yet I've got the reputation on here for being the chatty one. It's the other. Well, no, actually, we're both chatty. When will you remove the rest of the garden? It looks like a lot of dirt and stuff still around.
There is a lot of dirt and stuff.
There is. So the big rubble heap, we've probably got 2 or 3 more loads to go now.
So that equates to like 40 tonnes. So it's still a lot there.
So we had another lorry load went last week. Now we need to pin your diary down, so that you need to take a day off work. We need to hire a digger.
So to move it all around.
Removal lorry needs to come, and that you need to be here to actually make sure that the lorry can reach it all.
So I think we've already had. I can't actually remember. I think we've had 120, maybe even 140 tonnes of earth moved already. So it's a huge amount.
Yeah. And I know that the garden looks as though we've got stuff everywhere, and to be fair, we do. But if I break it down, we've got the rubble heap, which we're dealing with. There's the massive trampoline, which is on its
way out.
Final warning, and I have to say, Rowan has not been on it again.
No.
So I think that the trampoline has been given until the end of this season, and then I want it gone. But she's not going on it. She's busy working and doing stuff. So I think that might just
disappear.
Go.
Yeah.
There's lots of wood around, and as soon as the wood pile is gone, as soon as the wood store is built, all the wood that we've got just hanging around can go into the woodshed. Yeah. And the rest is reclamation things, which actually everything in the garden is destined for a project. So we've got tiles. We've got tiles, roof tiles that are soon to go on the top of the woodshed.
Hopefully. We've
got wood, which will be used to construct the woodshed. So it looks as though we've got things hanging around that shouldn't be, but actually there's a reason for most things. Some of it not, but most things. And I think in the next 12 months you'll really see a massive improvement of what it looks like.
It's nice that we've been able to all the stuff that's come out of the house has been repurposed, hasn't it?
So so we have kept quite a lot, thinking we might be able to reuse that. So for the log store, we're using some pan tiles that were left over. We're using those on the roof. We're using wood that we've had from other projects or that have come out of the house for the construction.
We'll probably use some of the bricks on there, because we had 2 walls upstairs, didn't we?
Yeah.
That were essentially floating on nothingness, really.
So some of the bricks that have come out when we've got our walls, they've been used on the path. So there is a reason why we've kept all the stuff. It's not just, we're not just mad hoarders. There's a reason for it. But I do appreciate it doesn't look very sightly. How far was your previous house from Star Corner? Did you have any friends in the new location? So we moved from Northamptonshire, which is about just over 2 hours away from where we are now. And no, we didn't know anybody when we moved here.
No.
Nobody
Not
at all.
sausage.
Nobody.
No.
And now in the time we've met loads of people and have lots of lovely friends, which goes back to being chatty, I think. And we do still stay in touch with our friends from Northamptonshire as well. What are your next plans for the bathroom? That's Sheila. I've got a feeling Sheila is saying, why aren't you doing the bathroom?
Yeah, get on with it.
So, behind the scenes, on camera, you haven't seen much going on in the bathroom or the bedroom. But behind the scenes, well, the plumbers have now finished, which means we can get on. We were ordering things, so we had to wait for the shower to come and the tiles to come, which they now have. And you have been doing the odd bit as well.
Yes, yeah.
And then all of a sudden the sun came out and we knew that we needed to build the log store, because last year we were storing logs in the bedroom. And so to be able to get that area finished, the bedroom and the bathroom, we needed to build the log store. So all the things that we're working on, I know some people get so frustrated with us, like, why are you doing that now? And everything that we're doing was on the list at the beginning of the year. We sat down and we wrote a list. This is what we need to do this year. So we haven't strayed from that list. You may not appreciate what we're doing because from an outsider's perspective it looks random, but everything that we're doing was on the plan for this year.
Yeah, it really does have to be done, because otherwise, you know, we've got, what, 3 log burners really, essentially, including the stove. And you can't burn wet wood. 1, you're not allowed to in the UK, it's illegal now.
Yeah.
And 2, it's not very good anyway.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to pin you down on time. We're not that far away now. Or it feels as though the ensuite is putting it all together. We've done all the hard work. I'm not saying that there's not work to do.
I've got to finish the plumbing, haven't I, really? Got to plumb in the shower itself.
Oh, you've got to plumb in the shower.
Yeah.
But we know that we have to get it done. The outside shower is getting more temperamental by the day. I'm desperate for an indoor shower, don't get me wrong. But when we actually say, right, that's it, we're doing it, it should come together reasonably quickly.
It should do, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've actually told Rowan asked when she'd be moving into her new bedroom, and I've said I feel that she could be in there by the time she goes to college. So not finished. Her room won't be done,
that's
but
probably doable.
Yeah.
Because we're going to use pallets for the woodshed to build up the walls.
Yeah.
So it's all going to be thrown together fairly quickly once the bricks go up, just the
Yeah.
base. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully it won't be long now, but it will be worth waiting for. Is the digger yours? What is the plan when the pile is removed? Are we seeing the shed contents? No, the digger's not ours. That area where we're clearing the rubble pile is going to be a small orchard: cherry, quince, plum, pear, apple.
Yeah.
So we're going for one of each tree, and you will never see inside the shed of doom. It's you might see things coming out of the shed of doom. In fact, Rowan has started pulling a few bits out, but you'll never actually see inside. It's just too shocking. That was Helen. This one, I saw this one come in. This is Melinda. It seems as though you host guests fairly regularly. Not much recently, because we've been trying to get on,
busy,
but we
yeah.
would like to. It's not uncomfortable for you to invite people into your unfinished space. Do they see the other spaces? Are your girls able to host gatherings or sleepovers? It seems like it would be difficult to host events, but from the outside looking in, you all seem confident in opening up your home, and you style it beautifully. I'm just wondering. I live in a simple, small home, stateside, nothing special. I suppose it would be a track home, or just... sorry, I don't know what a track home is. Do you know what a track home is? I suppose it would be a track home or just a builder's model. Quite boring, but even so. When I host, which isn't often due to experiences and fatigue, I want everything as perfect as I can get it, because I want guests to feel comfortable and catered to. I have somewhat knackered style, not so sure about elegant, but I still like things tidy and presentable. It takes a lot of courage to host in the middle of chaos. Much respect to you. Gosh, there's a lot of questions there. Okay. Anyone that we invite into our home is friend or family. They know what we like, they know what we're doing, and they actually want to be part of the journey. I think that's fair to say. And it would have been really horrible if we hadn't have had anybody here.
Well, for 8 years?
For 8 years.
Yeah, it would have been really awful. We wouldn't have met anybody or got to know people, would we?
So when we first moved here, we used to host a Christmas party for our neighbours once a year. That was just really a case of showing them what we were doing and where we'd got to, because everyone was really interested.
And there was most people that came had helped us in some way as well.
Yeah, and what became quite apparent as well is that how nice they thought it was, because it feels as though it may be a bit chaotic and everything else, the rooms that we're entertaining in are nice, aren't they?
Yeah, they might not be finished, but they're
Then last year I hosted my 50th, and that expanded it out to a greater circle of friends. And again, everyone just thought that it was so nice and that it looked nicer than some people's homes when they were actually finished.
That's quite a subjective opinion, I think.
No, we'd put festoon lights up. It was a proper party. We'd put festoon lights up, and there were candles on. And because one thing I will say, we may be living in a renovation project, and there may be areas that are out of bounds, but it's clean and tidy. Yeah. I do housework and everything. It may be dusty, but it's clean dust. Yeah. It's clean that week. My best friend says that this, even in no matter what stage you're in, this is one of the most comfortable houses. When she just comes, she feels really, really comfortable and at home. It's always warm. So no, I don't have a problem at all. And I too always want my house to be presented in the best way that it possibly can be. So, I mean, what's your view on it?
Same as yours. That's it. I've got nothing else to say on it. Yeah,
and I am a firm believer of the phrase, it's about the journey, not the destination. So I think that's what we're just loving the life that we're living, loving the house in whatever phase it's in. Yes, of course I want an indoor shower. Yeah. Of course it will be nice to have a built-in pantry, but we're warm, we're having fun. We've got seats and things, just because the furniture isn't what we want it to be in the long run doesn't mean that it's not okay now.
The thing is that we could have ripped through this place and we would have made so many mistakes. It wouldn't have been organically grown because there's things that we've changed along the way and there's things that we've done and bought which we wouldn't have had if we'd just said, right, let's go to, I don't know, wherever, John Lewis, and kit it out and buy everything. And it would all be homogenous, which is not great, is it? Well, I don't think it's great. Some people like it. No.
And even when the house is, I'll do finished in air quotes, it will still change because we deal in antiques. So things come and go all the time. So it's never going to be static. It's never going to be fixed. As for the girls entertaining, they can't have sleepovers. That's probably the one thing which has been a shame.
But to be honest, they haven't bothered, have they?
Well, I think the sleepovers was never. In fact, I always say, so are people allowed to go anywhere? Upstairs is out of bounds. It's just nobody goes upstairs. Probably when we first moved in, we were doing a tour of everywhere, but nobody goes upstairs. And so no, not for sleepovers. And of course, the bathroom situation has been a bit of an issue for having guests staying. But they do have a room, that they do have the cinema room. That's theirs to invite people to if they want to, friends. Unfortunately, because we live in a village and you're therefore reliant on parents to act as mum and dad taxis,
it's quite difficult to organise.
It's quite difficult to organise because school friends are spread out all over the county, especially now Imogen's at college. She's got friends that are an hour away, so it's easier for them just to meet up in Norwich, isn't it?
Yes,
but if they wanted to, they could, and on occasions they do invite friends over for film nights or whatever, but I don't really have a lot.
No, but it might change as they get a bit older as well, so
that's one thing probably that going back to what do I admire about you, before I met you I would have wanted things. I mean, I've always entertained, even from my very first house. It was always neat and it was always tidy, but it was never, I'm never going to live in my dream Georgian farmhouse and it's all finished and I'm like a character from Downton Abbey or something. That's not reality. So I've always entertained. But definitely, you're so chilled and relaxed that you've definitely helped me to become more chilled and relaxed, I think, than I'm so chilled now I'm almost horizontal.
That's also a matter of definition, I think. But yeah.
But no, you've helped me just sort of relax into things, I think.
It's more fun.
Can be. I think that might be it. We've whizzed through those today.
You beat the alarm.
that is it.
Yeah.
So I hope that answered your questions for this month. Please do send more questions in for next month. It's quite good knowing what sort of things you want to know about us. And yeah, we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.